What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. Thank y'all for viewing the content. Thank you for viewing the channel. And thank you for returning for another upload. Now, if you're watching this video around children, as I always say time and time again, please remove them from your immediate vicinity. As I always say, particularly, these videos are not for children. The sole purpose of the information I give is within regards to personal and personal information only. General, but personal. And educational as well. Also to mention, this does not constitute legal advice, nor does it constitute anything anti-government. I can't be anti-self, for we the people are the government. However, we have ceded our role and basically given up our sovereignty. However, this is just to inform you on how to gain it back. So with that being said, if you're in any type of legal situation, consult with an attorney, pay your fiat, pay the fees. It is what it is. Let's get to it, now that the kid's out the way. Okay, people. I know that I said years and years and years before, right? I said this years ago, but I believe that a lot of people either have followed me, whatever, the course of time they have taken this course. People have went on, moved on, done other things, whatever the case may be. It's neither here nor there. I just want to retouch on something that I know I said years ago. But previously, from what I know I said, I didn't really go in depth with it. And but so much because I knew that most people were familiarizing themselves with a lot of what I say on my channel. Now, I do know that a lot of people aren't familiar with a lot of commercial processes and what the case may be. So I lean towards the definitions to give you a broader scope and just not the, the particular explanation of what something is, and to help you really define and understand and overstand and understand exactly what you're dealing with. Now, in regards to this, I know I told people years ago, I say your Social Security card, or the Social Security card that you have in your possession, particularly is your credit card. And I know I said this before. And the reason why I said this is because it's very true. But I know that years ago, especially people who've been following me for years, may have probably thought that, oh, well, the credit card in and of itself is you're used to getting issued from a third party, such as like Chase or, MasterCard or whatever the case may be. That's all right. Okay? Let us recorrect our understanding. Yes, people. It is a credit card, yes, but it's an extension of your credit. So the title of this video is Definition of Rules of Proper Credit. Okay? Now, it is a thunderstorm outside. It's raining like a motherfucker. And the lights might cut off. I'm just saying, let's just hope that it doesn't. For all intents and purposes, though, let's just stay on track, right? There it goes. So with that being said, people, the proper definition of rules of this is that when you get a credit card issued to you, and if you've done your research and you're one of those viewers who've done your research, your credit is extended to you. So when you got that approval, that was your credit being extended through your transmitting utility, which is the straw man, right? A lot of people don't understand this when I say this, but it's the truth. Your straw man is your trust. But the thing is, when you were born, we already know this. The odyssey behind the birth. Yeah, you were born. Your parents didn't know. Great. Kept the thing going all the way up until the age of majority. And here you are in your adulthood still trying to figure it all out. Well, let's simplify it. Let's not conflict this with ideologies or naysayers who come online and try to make it seem like this is some type of movement where we're trying to undermine the government. First off, people, let's get our thinking straight. We cannot undermine ourselves. We can just be ignorant to how we operate in this system, but we cannot undermine ourselves. Our ignorance as a population of people is the reason why these things keep happening to us. See, you have to understand, it says that we derive anyone that looks up the definition of derive, it simply means take. We derive our powers, our just powers, from the consent of the governed. In other words, we need your permission. What am I saying here, people? In order for anything to happen to you, you must consent. Now, the reason why I'm saying this in the proper definition, I want you to understand, is that social is a credit card. But I'm going to also let you know how it links to other things that you might not even think that's a credit card. Now, I'm going by definition, right? Definition and definition alone. Now, this can be found in 15 United States Code 1602. Definitions. Okay, so this is not conjecture. This is not my own behest of me saying, oh, I'm making this stuff up. No, this is the definition. Okay, let's go down to 15 USC 1602, and let's go to L. Now, this is going to shock you. Now, notice what the definition's saying. Not Lord and Light Luciferian Print 7.7 on YouTube. The definition is saying, quote, the term credit card means any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. I repeat, the term credit card means any card, coupon, plate, or other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. So, for all the naysayers and all the agents, fuck you. But in reality, here it is. 15 United States Code 1602. It tells you any card, identification card, passport card, driver's license, all of that is your identity connected to the Social Security card. Now, I know a lot of people might be like, well, you know what? It doesn't have the number on it. Yes, it does. When they enter those numbers that are on your license or any other card you may have, yes, it may not have that direct social on it. But I can guarantee you it's you that was on that card, that strawman entity that you submitted to that agency to get that license, to get that identification, that you submitted to that credit card company to get that. Do you understand that I'm telling you that you are the principal people? This is why I'm telling you we are the brokest, richest population on the face of this earth in the Western world. Because your job as creditor was usurped from you through ignorance. Again, people, we didn't know until we became of an age of majority. When you become of the age of majority, you can read now. You can, if you choose to, you can study. You can peruse the endless realms of knowledge on this. But it's so funny how every time I come up on these subjects online, when I first started my journey, didn't have no mentor, no YouTube, no nothing. Every time in the beginning when I was, looking into this knowledge, it always was like, oh, I don't suggest you do that. I don't suggest you do that. Don't do that. They're going to arrest you. They're going to do. Come on now. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, some people have done whatever they've done. I don't know the exact details from timeline history, but I was not going to let that dissuade me because I knew for a fact my intent was to solely just stand in my respective position and conscript as an individual who's a creditor. That is it. I'm not out here harassing, terrorizing, intimidating, doing none of that. I just know who I am. That's all. And in this commercial world, yes, you could be one thing in the common world, but in the commercial world, you're something totally different. And this is the reason why a lot of people don't understand through the language fraud and the deception in the educational system. This is why people don't know. Now, going back to what I was saying about in the previous videos about your identity theft, you do not have to provide your identification to nobody. You have a right to privacy. But I know a lot of people in the common spectrum of society, they feel compelled to do something. Anything compelled to do should not be done in the first place. Remember, people, is with consent. You should not be compelled to do anything. So yes, we realize we've all come upon these instances because this is the way that the system was set. Somebody asks you for ID, your first response is to give it to them. First off, you have a violation right there to your right to privacy. I don't give a fuck who says it. Now, I know society's going to make you believe, oh, you have to. No, you don't. Understand that that's your private information. That has your name. It has your birth date. It has your address on it. That's your personal info. So people will say, well, you know, a police officer walks up to you and asks for your ID, whatever, in the case of you have to give it to him. Would you go to a grocery store and give your fucking ID to a woman in the aisle that's coming down the aisle and be like, a woman or a man, and say, can I get your ID? What would you say? You would say no. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Hell no. But then y'all are underneath the ideology that they asked for. They're different. No, they're not. The reality is they're insured for a reason, for liability purposes. That's the reason, because they're operating in a capacity that can cause injury. Now, if you don't involve yourself with anything that is of criminal nature, you won't have to worry about this. But let's not be naive, people. This is United States. This is United States. These people always going to want something. But you must look up the Privacy Act. You have a right to privacy. You have to know these things. I'm not saying go out there and be defiant, be belligerent as much as you can, live in peace with everybody. But just understand, when you learn this stuff, you must teach it as well. If you do not enlighten these individuals, they're going to take it as if you're basically being belligerent. Am I saying walk around with oodles and oodles of documentation? No, that's why I say study. That way you can recite off the top of your head. So when the need comes up, you can simply say, hey, do you know that according to 42 United States Code 408, it's actually a crime for me to give you my information? Now, if you're willing to accept this as being a crime, I'm more than willing to give it to you. I think that most people who actually do their research and actually study that will say, well, nah, I'm not down for that. My point exactly. So when you understand, this is actual law. Quote, it says 42 United States Code penalties. Here it is. Oh, there you go. It's right there for you. You know what I'm saying? 42 United States Code 408. Makes a cause is about to be made by any false statement or representation of material fact in any application or any payment. Anytime it's all there. I'm not even going to read it. It's all there for you. Do your homework. Do your research. Dissect it. You do it. It also tells you you don't have to give this information up. It's your credit. So whenever you're giving it up to anybody, you're giving people access to your credit. You must understand that the Trading with the Enemies Act was nothing more than a divisive plan, which many people still don't even know exists to this day, to basically make the United States population enemies of the United States government. Now, people say, well, how is that possible? Because you must read the Trading with the Enemies Act. You must read all of the successive acts that led up to the Act of March 9th, 1933. You must read that it says, particularly, first off, on the Social Security card, which came into the actual construction in 1936, and then administrative procedures 10 years later followed a suit, basically said that whoever's on this card or these cards that are issued are considered enemies. So here's the kicker. If you read the back of the social very carefully, it says, do not give this out to anyone. You know why you're considered an enemy? Because now you're engaging in commercial warfare anytime you give it to somebody who's not government. So all you people that's out there in la la land thinking that your credit card is paid off, congratulations, enemy. You have just funded the United States debt. You gave it to a third party. You gave it to an entity that's not even governmental. How the hell can a debt be valid against you, the natural person, when they say you owe Chase every month? Chase is not government, people. It's a private profiteering corporation. It's not a part of government, and you're indebted to them. And you proudly boast in the ignorance that, yes, I got several credit cards. Congratulations, enemy idiot. You are giving away your credit that was given to you for you to utilize, but you've never been properly taught how to use it. Then you want to go get a vehicle. They run your credit. You're approved, but now you owe every month. Oh, because they hit you with the 52 fake out on the promissory note. Mortgage, same thing. Student loans, ad infinitum. All of these entities that I just mentioned are not government. Mortgage companies are not government. And you're giving a number away to receive something from somebody that's not government. That's why y'all misapply House Joint Resolution 192 so much. It said for all debts, right? Sounds great. Who passed the bill? Congress. So it said anything related to anything governmental. You individuals comprise it to say all debts, but you're not in proper standing. That's the thing that you're not getting. Some people get confused. They're like, well, do I follow UCC1? Do I not follow UCC1? I'm not here to tell anybody anything of what to do. I'm just going to sit here in my own universe and say, I haven't had a problem since. I did it because I knew not hearing some 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute video from some random person online and doing my research and getting the knowledge and understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing in the first place. Ain't had no problem since. I have never looked a federal judge in the face. Don't plan on it either, because I know exactly what to do and how to operate. I hit them with all the corresponding laws. No bunch of fucking documents just overbearing them. No, that's not necessary, because it's a private remedy. And when you're a private person, your job is to defend the public person, the straw man, to keep your natural ass from dealing with liability. But you must read. Do you think that in any instance they're going to publicly come out here and tell the people, yes, y'all are the creditors? No, but they do it under different means. You are begging people to provide for you out of your own trust. Everybody sitting here talking about, well, they're denying me for Social Security, so because that's for somebody who's deceited. A decedent. So, of course you're going to get denied, because the trust is set up for an entity that's non-existent until you correct your proper status. Another conversation for another video, because packing that all in this video might confuse some people. So I want to stick to the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? You must understand these are references that I'm pointing you into the right direction if you wish to hear. But again, this lifestyle is not for everyone, as general as it is, right? I'm just saying it's not for everyone, because certain people are just going to be just too afraid. Because yes, it's understandable. I understand it. It's a new realm of knowledge. Well, congratulations, right? Let's go to 15 United States Code. Here it is. Just so you will understand what I'm saying, not believe, understand what I'm saying. 15 United States Code 1602G. Remember I said creditor? Let's cook. Creditor refers to only a person who both, one, regularly extends, whether in connection with loans. Oh my God, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whether in connection with loans, sale of property or services, such as food stamps, so forth and so on, or otherwise consumer credit. Remember I told you about getting that car, which is payable by agreement, i.e. the financing contract, in more than 4 installments, or for which the payment of a finance charge is or may be required. And 2 is the person to whom the debt arising from the consumer credit transaction is initially payable on the face of the evidence of indebtedness. Or if there is no such evidence of indebtedness by agreement, notwithstanding the preceding sentence in the case of an open-end credit plan involving a credit card, the card issuer, any person who honors the credit card and offers a discount, which is a finance charge, are creditors. Now, pause. I know that might sound a little confusing because on the face, prima facie, you may think, hey, this sounds a little bit off. This sounds a little bit weird. This sounds a little confusing to me because I'm confused. No, get your thinking straight. In the first terminology of the sentence, creditor refers only to a person who both, number 1, regularly extends, and 2, is the person to whom the debt arising from the consumer credit transaction is initially payable on the face of the evidence of indebtedness. In simplicity, when you already applied and extended your credit and were approved and signed, you already paid. But they got you because they made you pay for a promissory note. Yes, people, they made you pay for it. Prime example, the contract, everything already done for. Good. Oh shit, we got a double dip. Promissory note. That's where the fraud comes in because it was already bought from the initial. The credit was already extended. You extended it yourself, creditor. They didn't loan you anything. And I said this time and time again. Your mortgage is bullshit. You already paid it. Your car, the car you paying on, yes, you out there in YouTube, you already paid it, but you got 52 faked out. They made you take your credit and then made you pay on the credit with interest. That's what that is. That interest in that finance charge, that interest on that credit card, that interest on that mortgage, where do you think all of this interest is coming from? It's coming from you because you don't know no better. And see, yeah, they're going to argue. They're going to argue with those who are uneducated. When I first began this journey, a lot of people used to say a lot of shit in the comment section. A lot of shit. What they got to say now when you're pulling out receipts on definitions? What they got to say now when you're pulling out receipts on successes that you're doing? What do a bitch got to say today? Not a damn thing. Don't have nothing to say. Because when you have the facts, you understand. That's why I tell people, and I don't care what a bitch say online, it's important to file a UCC1 for your straw man entity. You know why dickheads out there don't want you to do it? Because they agents or they fucking sleep and don't know what the fuck they talking about. A secured party is an entity in commerce according to Article 9 of the UCC, secured transactions, meaning that in any transaction that individual engages in, he or she is secured with collateral, a collateral interest in the transaction. That's the reality. This is from a man that reads Article 9. It talks about superior security interest. Somebody in the comment section years ago, there's no such thing. Dickhead, for whoever it may be, it's in Article 9 of the UCC. Article 9. So how in the world can it not be a superior security interest if it's there? Then someone asked me, what's the difference between filing UCC and filing a non-UCC? Think about the definition of the word non. I don't even need to say it. A fifth grader can tell you. A 5-year-old can tell you there. Non means none. Nada. Zilch. Nothing. Fifth grader can tell you that. Come on now. It's reality. Non. UCC1 filing? Non. You figure it out. Now I know people may argue with me, but you're not really arguing with me. You're probably arguing with yourself because definitions are what they go by. Not my conjecture. I go by definition. I don't go by what people say. If it's not defined in law, I don't want to hear that shit. That's what I operate off of, which is why I had zero problems till this day. Real spill. UCC 3-104. And I tell people all the time, get a pen and paper. And I keep telling people, get a pen and a piece of paper. Now let's go back to talking about that promissory note. So when you did your consumer credit transaction with your credit card, i.e. your social, here's the reality. What you did was create what's called a negotiable instrument. UCC 3-104 talks about what a negotiable instrument is. Now, it also talks about, in the first definition of it, is payable to the bearer or to the order at the time it is issued or first comes into possession of a holder. Let me tell you, let me stop there. You want to do your own research on that code section, UCC 3-104? By all means, have at it. But what is being said in regards to what I just mentioned is the fact that you basically extended your social, the credit itself, on the card to obtain a consumer credit transaction. So for all these people that's out here saying that this stuff is not real, I'm breaking it down to exactly how it is. You extended your credit to make a purchase. People saying there's no money in the trust. They're right. There is no money in the trust. There's only unlimited credit. Unlimited. But this is the reason of why the limitation is placed, because the debt is then made under false and misleading representations. The promissory note is then held by the so-called lender, who is not the lender. They're borrowing. They're borrowing the signature. UCC 3-419 talks about instruments for accommodation. You accommodate the instrument, i.e. the promissory note, which is the negotiable instrument. The purported lender takes it, gets paid, and then makes you pay interest on your own fucking payment. And this stuff's not real. Yeah, right. It's right here. Instrument means a negotiable instrument. A promise to order. An instrument. Draft, cashier's check, promissory note. Needless to say, it's all right here, creditor. You're just giving it away freely. But remember I said that unlimited credit has a limit on it? When you don't know how to properly operate in commerce. They then take your position as creditor and under false and misleading misrepresentation now can secure your property because you didn't know what you were doing. And now because you didn't know what you were doing, you're dealing with foreclosure. You're dealing with credit card debt. You're dealing with all... Yes, you are, because your natural self didn't know how to defend the straw man. You did it. But now is the opportunity for you to reverse the curse. Am I saying go back and wreak havoc on people and overload people with a whole bunch of documentations and everything? No. No. You must reinstate your position as creditor and say, y'all committed fraud. That's what you need to do. And report the fraud to the proper authorities. Because again, you can only fall into dishonor when you don't remedy the sickness, i.e. the debt. And who does the debt lie with? You, when you do not correct your position. When you don't tell those people, hold on, you committed a fraudulent act under false and misleading representations because you never told me that this was a consumer credit transaction. You never told me that the application in and of itself, you turned into a financial asset. You never told me I had 72 hours to revoke this contract. You never told, see, point for point. Yeah, fire to that ass. Come here. We ain't got time to play with these people. It's the truth. How are the creditors the debtors? And I just showed you why in less than 29 minutes. Come on now. But I ain't even done yet. I'm going to make this a little bit more lengthy than my usual upload for the simple fact of the matter. Hey, let it marinate over the course of time. 31 USC 5118. All this is law I'm just hitting y'all with. Here it goes, people. USC 31 USC subsection 5118 is a section of United States Code that covers gold clauses and consent to sue. It is part of Title 31, which is about money and finance. Suggest y'all dig into that for those people who are actually a little bored or misled or underinformed or ignorant to anything I'm talking about and all the above. It talks about the gold clause, public debt obligation, and what this section does in accordance with everything. It's written. All you gotta do is read, people. Read. Read. Use your good skills of deduction that the Most High is giving you, if you have any. If you don't, you're just an NPC. You don't know what that is, look that up too. And last but not least, let us go ahead and look up the quote. Importance of filing a UCC1. Okay. Filing a UCC1 or UCC1, Uniform Commercial Code 1 financing statement, is crucial. Because it acts as a public notice that a creditor has a security interest, that word again, people, interest in a debtor, personal property, essentially giving the creditor, the right to seize, specific assets, if the debtor defaults on a loan, thus protecting the lender and establishing their priority over the creditor in case of multiple claims on the same collateral. It is a vital tool in secured lending to safeguard a lender's interest when a borrower uses assets as collateral. You don't have to take my word for it, though. Look it up yourself. Public record. It's establishing priority. Secured lending. Protection against default. So for all you naysaying bitches out there in the universe or the multiverse of the internet, for all of you who told people to not file UCC1s, shame on you. I blame your mother. Straight up. Shame on y'all for telling people not to do it. For all the gurus in the community who told you not to, shame on them. This is essential for securing your loans, people. When a lender relies on specific assets like inventory or equipment, itemization, so forth, as collateral to ensure repayment, i.e. your house, i.e. your vehicle, i.e. your further non-extension of the credit on behalf of your default in regards to any loan of your own credit. Do you not understand, people, that it all goes back 360 to the principle? This is all I'm explaining. But again, it's public record. The UCC1 filing is a legal document, legal document that becomes public record, notifying other, now we're going to put this word in quotation marks, creditors about the secure interest held by a specific lender on a debtor's assets. So in other words, people, as again I said, this is for general purposes only. Me, myself, I am a secured party creditor. I am not no damn sovereign citizen. I am a secured party creditor in commerce. I am a natural man, natural flesh and blood man, the one making this video. My straw man can't say shit. So I had to speak for it. Incompetency. I am not non-compos mentis. I'm not that. I'm not non-compos mentis. I'm not mentally competent. No, I'm very competent. And I understand that if you really look into this and follow these key points about this, you will not be misled by the detractors who try to charge you $5,000 for some shit that you can't even use, people. Yes, people, they do abound on the internet. I ain't saying no names. But again, if indeed they cannot explain it to you in less than 35 minutes, such as I did, with all corresponding definitions, don't pay them bitches a shekel. Period. Because these are individuals, again, who I've been chasing online with the spirit of truth away from those people who don't understand this. Do I do this in my own personal life? Absolutely. Have I had problems in the beginning? Because I didn't know what I was doing. Because remind you, I said I did not have a mentor or anybody. The Most High has been my guiding light. But again, in this destiny of what we call life and in this world we engage with in commerce, why not share it with other people? But I understand that when greed and maliciousness and fraud abound in society, I know it's very hard to find somebody who's actually going to tell you the truth. So in order for me to not confuse myself with anyone else, I just live the truth. That's all I do in my personal life. Again, and I still say this on and off camera, and I have no problem in continuously saying this. I owe no one nothing. Because in my being, in my natural capacity, in my perpetuity, for those who have a Black's Law dictionary, I have unlimited credit. And I have unlimited power to contract secured by the Constitution. Amendment 10. I have unlimited power to contract. So if I have unlimited power to contract and I have unlimited credit, how the fuck am I a debtor? Now you people understand what I've been telling you. You filling out your UCC ones wrong all along because you're not putting the proper things in the proper places, people. But I said it. I said it years ago. And a lot of you people have been functioning in default for that reason. So I just showed you the proper definition of the credit. It all starts from the fundamental basis of that situs, that nexus, that transmitting utility. No one in the legal realm can deny that if you have a viable, functional UCC1 on public record, you cannot be held liable for any alleged debt that is against the strawman entity. I cannot stress this enough, but I am. And I'm telling you this for the simple fact of the matter. How in the world can you be if indeed you are the secured party, which means there's no liability to any so-called secured transaction? Golly, people. You are not the debtor. Remember when they send you bills and statements and claims against you? Your proper identity should be the creditor, not the debtor. And I keep stressing this because you will start to correct your thinking. Yes, people, because when your thinking is straight, you see things as they are and not as how they are presented to you. You'll stop using sentences in your life saying, hey, I owe. Hey, I have to. Hey, I must. You are actually acting as a debtor when you say shit like that. Because you are not putting on your thinking cap. You are not thinking correctly. You're thinking as a debtor. I owe. That's how debtors speak. Creditors say, no problem. See, we don't argue in commerce because you let your documentation speak for itself. Because on the private side, I'll handle that. I'll handle what is on the public ledger and I'll balance it out on the private side. But some of you people, and I said some, and many people in society are still functioning with the public brain. Now, I know my video may be shadow banned and I don't get a lot of traffic, and it is what it is, but it's the same way in life, people. Just because my videos don't get a lot of views does not mean that anything I'm saying is not valid. Because where the corpses are, there the buzzers will be also. So all these people with these thousands of views and followers, you can pay for views and followers, people. I don't give a fuck about that shit. You can pay for that. You could pay to make it seem as if your lie is really truthful. But I'm letting you know, I'm not making this up. Everything I just said in these past few minutes, you can look it up yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. But if you like what you're seeing and you like my content, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell and notification. Make sure you check back in the Lord Light Luciferian Prince 7.7 any chance you get. Make sure you tap in. Because if you don't, you might be left outside the loop. Like I said, and I also have to say this to all my viewers and my subscribers, and even to those agents who might be coming around the corner eventually, let me say this in regards to my content. I know that when it comes down to certain types of knowledge and information, I tell people, please donate if you are willing to. The reason why I say this, people, it's not about, quote unquote, fiat and everything. It's about a man who has been on this journey for so long, who knows his weight and his worth in his work. Period. Now, I know a lot of people may come on the opposite end of the spectrum and say, hey, well, there's no real money. Okay, let's not be delusional. We know that how we operate in this commercial world, that what I say on this channel does not resonate with that commercial world. That commercial world is set for commerce. Let's get it straight. When you deal with this commercial world, there are things that you can't say. Not saying you can't, it's just that you're casting your pearls before swine out there, people. Unless it's expressed on a documentation, the only thing that this world recognizes outside of those transactions is fiat. Period, people. And when it comes to this collective, for a person who's been dedicating his time, energy, and effort for years, for thousands upon thousands of people, faces, voices unheard, names unknown. Hell yeah. If you rocking with me on this channel, donate. I haven't set it up to where you can only have access to certain videos. I'm not that kind of person. I don't have time for all that shit. Because one thing I do know about the transference of currency is that usually some people feel obligated to an essence. Oh, the sun came out. Alhamdulillah. But the reality is, a lot of people feel obligated like they own me. Let me get one thing straight. You don't own me. You don't own me worth a fuck. Let's get that straight. So if you feel obligated, or you one of the people who feel like because I pay you, no, you don't. My services are just that. Other than that, it's just a cordial situation for services. That's it. The workman is worthy of his wages. In this commercial world, worldwide, globally, I don't think it's too many people that's really going to do certain and not expect to receive something on the end. But my thing is, on my channel, it's not compulsion. It's more so appreciation. If you appreciate the content, shit, by all means donate. I don't have no amount. It is what it is. Whatever you are willing to do for you, and even exchange, I'm going to still do what I do. But it's just about appreciation. And I see it not just on YouTube. I see it on TikTok. I see it on so many other networks. I mean, I tried Rumble, everything. But they're going to constantly try to keep suppressing people that speak such freely as myself. But unfortunately, I'm a rolling stone, bitch. I'm going to say this on and off camera because I don't put on a facade. When I go deal with these individuals who come at me and who say that I owe them something, I tell them in legalese, but in a politely legalese way, go fuck yourself. Because I know that it's all a game. It's all a game to keep you and other people entrenched in it. And unfortunately, I'm not naive. We cannot change the world, people. I don't care how many people come along and try to awaken the masses. You forget about that shit. The only soul you need to save is your own. That's it. You could assist and help people all you want. Your friends, your family, hell, even your significant other, your spouse, your wife, your children. It doesn't matter. You have to understand that in this game we call life, you are the player in your categorization. You configure the codes in order to get your character, that straw man, to get the most that it's supposed to get in this life. Straight up, this is not for everybody. So please, people, do not feel compelled in 2025 and beyond to try to do this with other people. Do it for yourself. Enrich yourself in your spiritual and mental development. Because remember, you're not thinking along the lines of the people who put this system in order. No, it's not about obtaining the most and putting on the dressings and trappings of the world to show people, yes, I did it, you can do it. No, it's only for you to live a life to where you can actually lay down at night and sleep and rest peacefully and live the life most abundantly. Because no matter what you obtain in this realm that we call earth, everybody's going to have to leave it behind. And on this earth, you are only given what is granted by the divine creator. Everything else, you're a tenant. You're never going to be an owner. No man or woman on the face of this earth is ever going to be an owner of anything. You are a steward. You know what I'm saying? You are a steward. So even these people who have these so-called millions of dollars in authority and power, they're stewards too. Period. according to the divine grace and the Creator, this is not belonging to anyone. And as I speak, on the other side of this globe we call Earth, this underneath the firmament, the Pope is fighting for his life. The one man who actually succeeded other men who claim to be God is fighting for his life. Let that sink in, people. Let that shit sink in. Let it sink in. Because again, with all the power and preeminence that he pretends to have, can't buy another day on the face of this earth. So what am I saying? Use what you have wisely. Like me, right now, I could be doing 1,000,001 other things. Mainly, most of society involves themselves with escapism, social media, movies, TV, games. That's the reason why a lot of people will only scratch the surface with a lot of this knowledge. They're not dedicated. They're not active. And to be honest with you, you shouldn't feel compelled to even try to push in that direction. For you, the person who found my channel, this video, with this space and time in your life, and you are serious about what you're doing, keep doing you. You may not be perfect today. You may not be all the way where you want to be, but damn it, at least you're trying. Give yourself that much credit. And when you're dealing with this, try not to be so hard on yourself in the beginning of when you're doing this, because guess what? We're all beginners when it comes to something. No professional athlete never lost. No professional racer never lost. But in order for you to succeed, you must. So don't think that just because it didn't work the first time or it didn't work the second time, eventually they're going to get it. Because remember, just because you interpret it doesn't mean that you're interjecting a different code into the matrix. Prime example, man. I can't make it that much simpler. You knowing what I'm telling you and what you can read for yourself, you are entering codes into the matrix that the matrix can't accept. The matrix can't accept the fact that when they say payment, you're tendering payment a different way than the matrix does. It's a virus of sorts. Just remember that. You're rewriting the code, but you're using the code to rewrite it. So it's not like you're doing anything illegal. I don't care how many posts, how many vlogs, how many things you may come across that says, oh, that's those people. No, you're just a person who knows how to fucking read. You're not just a person who reads to follow directions. You're reading to actually map out a better future in existence for yourself. This knowledge is for everybody. This is not just for a particular group or so forth and so on, although it may be good for you to be of like-minded people. But I tell you, just for personal purposes, the only entity that you really need on your side with knowledge like this is the Creator, the Most High. And ask the Most High for wisdom. You ask the Most High to direct your path before you even start this, to direct your path. Develop a relationship with the Creator. You can have all the books on all this shit. Don't matter. If the Creator has not predisposed this for you, I'm sorry for you, but it ain't going to happen. But that's why I say every man and woman must seek higher guidance, because you have to understand when you're dealing with this, you're dealing with a spiritual warfare. Straight up. But however, you are not lowering yourself to become retaliatory, hateful, envious, spiteful. You must do this with the works of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit. And if you ain't aligned like that, and you got a lot of malice and hatred in your heart, or you're just not aligned, take some time out and ask yourself, is this really for me? Just like you watching this video, you don't have to be here right now, and I don't have to do this. But there's a reason why we're both here. Let us acknowledge that first. In reality, all I do is teach, but I also lead by example. It's just that simple. And I let my example shine. And I give all praises due to the Most High for every day I have an opportunity to do this. Because in reality I could be just as selfish as the rest of the world, but I'm not. And that's the reality behind the fact that I try to tell people not everybody needs to be a teacher. Not everybody needs to, because I am morally responsible for the things that I say to people. So that's why I say for general education, I'm not scared of a system. No, I think they're more afraid of people like myself. But I'm not here to cause harm. I'm here to live the life that my Creator has predisposed me to live, free of all encumbrances. That is it. That is it. To live a life free of all encumbrances. As long as I harm no one or their property, I don't do protests, marches, none of that stuff. I don't advocate for overthrowing of any. I don't do none of that. And I want this to remain immemorial for times and times again. I'm not one of them people. I'm just a person, to be honest with you, who loves to read. That's it. And the more I read, I seek and I shall find. And the truth, that's what I seek. And the truth set me free. That's all I can tell you. Alhamdulillah. So with that being said, people, I leave my information in the comment section in the video description below. Y'all take care. Keep your head on the swivel. Stay sober. Stay vigilant. Because your enemy goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And, oh yeah, not to mention, hold on one second. Hold up. I just started using this, and this is not no paid advertisement or none of that. Okay, people? This is not. Now, I know people may have used it, may have not. This is not no paid advertisement, but I'm just saying, personally for me, after, fasting and so forth, it's Ramadan, whatever, removing all impurities from your body and all that certain stuff you should eat, certain stuff you shouldn't eat. You already know what to do with your machine. But I tried this. It's Ormus. It's called Ormus Gold, right? This is Ocean Nectar. I used this for like about a week. I swear for goodness. For me, I'm just going to say this. I'm remembering dreams I had weeks ago. And my wife, the love of my life, I tell you, she knew my sleep schedule months and months ago. You know what I'm saying? Was way off. It's like I can actually go to sleep now. Don't need any melatonin, because I don't care what you buy within regards to that. It's like none of that stuff even works. But it's all about regulating your body and getting yourself back to your natural circadian rhythm and not using any type of ingestives like additives to help you promote sleep. But I've been using this and been getting some of the most peaceful sleep that I have been getting. Peaceful rest. I wake up. I don't have no fog throughout the day. I have a lot of energy, and I conserve and use my energy at will. It's not like I get a crash or nothing like that, like from caffeine or artificial booster. Do I consume caffeine? Yes, I do, but it's not so much. It's like at the time when I actually want to rest and get some sleep, I'm talking about, man, it's a wrap. I go to sleep now. I go to sleep before my wife. And that's a feat that I've been trying for years. And I actually mastered amongst other healthy habits. But Ormus Gold, I got it off the TikTok shop. Like I said, I don't get paid promotion for it or anything, but I've used it for like about a week and some change. Amazing. And you don't even need that much. You take like 2 milliliters in the morning, and you take 2 milliliters at night. Man, and you don't have no side effects like you feel all euphoric. It's just a natural thing that comes over you. It's just natural. Now, of course, it's not FDA approved. However, I'm saying in my own personal life, this is the gold that the Anunnaki was looking for. Stop my shit. I know some people say it decalcifies the pineal gland, which is basically the most attacked, although the smallest portion of our human anatomy, it's the most attacked because it's the portal, it's the gateway to the higher consciousness. And when we say higher consciousness, it just really just means your awareness is heightened. And when your awareness is heightened, you function in a realm of health. See, when you have healthy thoughts, your manifestations, your downloads come quicker, your information becomes a lot. It's like you attract things that normally you wouldn't catch if you were not paying attention. It's like your awareness is just A1. Your concentration, you're reading a book is sharp. You're not scatterbrained. I'm just saying this is what has happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And the focus is amazing. And it's beautiful because I know a lot of people talk about manifestation, but manifestation, it's really a practice. It's not just saying like hocus pocus, I want it to happen now. It's a series of events. But remember, you can't put new wine in old wineskins. Just saying. Just food for thought, people. Thank y'all for being here. This is probably one of my longest. Sheesh, I should have went live. Who knows? I might go. Inshallah, I may do it sometime later on this week. But it's one of the longest ones I had. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, don't be shy. Donate. I don't care what it is. 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever the case may be. It's the beginning of the month. I know things get hard. It is what it is, people. I'm in the battle with you. I'm not above you. I'm right alongside you, as long as you're with the truth. If indeed you're against the truth, then I'm standing in front of you. Just please, for the Most High's sake, to abstain his wrath, just get out the way. That's all I got to say. Get out the way. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, as being spiritually and divinely protected, I don't think you want to piss off who I serve. And that's all I'm saying. I don't care what machinations or what machines you got. I don't think you want to piss off who I serve. And I'm just going to give you that warning. Straight up. Divinely protected. That's all I can say. Alhamdulillah. But with that being said, people, walk in faith, walk in power. And remember, everything that you're thinking or you thinking is negative, please remove that from the stream of life that you have going on right now. Because no matter what you're thinking, you already have the answer. You just have to make the first move. Peace, light, love. Y'all take care. Enjoy the upload. And remember, stay sober, stay vigilant. I'll see y'all soon. Agents, fuck you. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.